Hello guys, how's it going? I'm coming with another interesting tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm just going to talk about another functionality which is so interesting. Okay, let me show you. Python manage run server. I'm just trying to run my server on my Django server. Alright. In some e-commerce websites there is a functionality for changing the currency type. Is like, imagine that you have a shop template, and inside your shop you sell some different shoes or any other products, and each shoes or each product has their unique price, right? But the thing is that, imagine that the price is dollar, so if someone trying to buy that product from Europe, their money type is completely different, 100%, right? So uh, they trying to figure it out how much is going to be $80 to euro or pound or something like that. So this functionality is just going to work for this purpose. So in this website, in this template, in this HTML template, we have a drop down menu which the user can change the language and currency, but we have to define the functionality in the server, in the backend server. So we say, okay, if user click on this or this or this, what's gonna happen next, right? So that's what I want to talk about right now. Right now I'm trying to talk about how programmer can define different functionalities to make this drop down work, but my focus is on currency. I'm trying to say what we have to do to make the web page completely dynamic, so user can change the currency to any type which he wants. Imagine that I'm trying to buy this test product, which is a shoes. The price is $80, but because I'm from, for example, Europe, and my money is not dollar, it's euro, so I'm trying to figure out how much is going to be $80 to euro. So I can just open up the drop down menu here and then click on euro, so I can see all the prices get changed, and $80 is gonna be $80, 80 USD dollar is gonna be a 91 euro, or $120 is gonna be 109 euro. That's what I'm trying to say. So, but the question is that how we can implement this feature in our Django website. There are some different steps which I literally write it down in my notebook. The first step, I mean, it depends on you, but the first step which you can do is to create a new app related to the feature which you're trying to implement. So because I'm trying to implement a functionality and feature inside my Django website which is going to convert the currency to different type, so I can create an app called currency converter, and then trying to implement and define different function inside the view of that app, and then link them with URL and so on, so I can use them to just have this feature in my website. So you have two options. You can either create your own app, or just simply, if you have any general app like shop app, you can just define the view function inside that app. But I recommend you to create app for each functionality, because definitely there are some cons and pros for that, but in my opinion, like, it's better to use your own app, so you are going to be able to find any feature easily. So what I did in this project, I literally created an app called here I have the app, currency converter. How we can create it? The only thing which you have to do is that you have to you can create an app by using this command, python manage.py start app with any other name which you want. So because I already wrote like currency converter, so I have that app. But if you want to create any app, you can just create your app by using this command. So when you create your app, this what's gonna be the second step. Imagine that you have your app. Inside your app, there's going to be some different files. which it's better to zoom in here. So there's going to be some different files like URLs. I mean, as a default, like you don't have urls.py, but you can create it. You have views.py, test.py, models, and so on. So the second step, which I recommend you guys to do it, is define your view. So if you are going to open up your view here, you can simply define this view here, and I'm going to explain step by step like what does these codes do. So simply we just import some different modules which we need. We create our function with any name which we want. We get the request and get the currency argument, and then try to create a variable and then put the base currency to USD. So we are going to understand like as default all the prices, it's based on USD. So let me just open up my as default. If I'm going to load it here, all the base prices are based on USD. So that's why we create this variable and then put it to USD. And then there are some different ways to convert your currency to different type. One of the ways which you can do is to simply go to Exchange API here. Let me open up it. Let me open it up for you. Okay, I'm just going to open up from Firefox. Exchange API, exchange rate API. You go to this website, exchange rate API, and then whenever you go inside that, you just simply need to enter your email address and create an account, and then you are going to receive a link inside your email. You have to verify that, and then you are going to get the API key exactly like that. Let me show you how it's just going to looks like. You're going to receive the API key. Let me show you. Exchange rate, I think exchange dash this one. Let me open up. I think it's this one. I'm going to go sign in. I can simply sign in with my email, and then that's it. You can, it's a default API key. So here we have it. So you can simply get your, I'm just going to censor this one, like I'm just going to hide it, but anyway, whenever you verify your account from your email, you can simply get the API key like that, and then you can use that API key. How you can use it, like the second step which I'm trying to talk about is about that, how you can use the API key. You can simply put that API key like as a string here, but it's not a good idea, because never do that, like never, don't even try to do that. Or you can simply put that string inside your setting of your e-commerce website. Don't do that neither, because like never, don't put any string, hard-coded string inside your like any pages, like any pages. Don't put hard-coded string, because like as a security, like it's not a good idea. So you can simply put it inside the environment, like environment, and then you can, whenever you put it, then you can get it from you can get it by the variable. So how you can put it, like it's easy. You can simply set it by open up your command prompt or PowerShell. I'm going to show you right now. Imagine that you have ChatGPT. Just going to go for, and then I'm going to say set a by let me show you. Using PowerShell or command prompt. Oh, I already wrote the command prompt incorrectly. But anyway, you can just set that. I mean, no, this is not the way how we do it. This is the way how we do it. So you can simply put the variable name here, put the value here, and then you can simply use it by using the OS module, get the environment, and then get the variable. So we're going to get the value like that. So whenever you're trying to use any, I mean, there are some more secure ways which you can do it, but one of the way which I recommend you guys to do it, to use the temporary variable and then try to set it with the value which you want, and then try to call that variable with the OS module in Python. So simply what I did set exchange rate API key with the value of this. That's it. So it's easy. So after we did that, we can simply get that value by using OS module and then put it inside the API key variable, and then we try to put the URL here with the base currency and the API key value, and then we try to send the request to that URL. We try to figure it out. If the status code was 200, that means it already exists and it's a correct location, it's a correct answer. So if the status code was 200, try to get the data but with the JSON format, and try to get the rates, and then try to currency that upper, and then as default 1. So if you couldn't find that, if you couldn't find like any race, any currency, then put the 1 as a default, and then try to return the JSON response with a rate equal with rate. So right now it's not the end of the, it's not the last thing which you have to do. After you do that, I mean, maybe you didn't understand that much here, but whenever I talk about the JS functions, then you're going to understand better. So after you define your function inside the views, you have to link that view inside your URLs, urls.py, and then I'm going to link that view, which is converter currency view, with the with this URL. And then after I did that, because I already created a new app, right, I have to put that app inside my setting. So e-commerce setting, I put that app here. So I'm sure whenever you create any app, you have to put that app inside the install apps in your setting files. And then when you did that, you already finished the first step. You create app. You finish the second step, you define the view. You finish the third step, you link that view to that URL. And then you already put, and then you finish the fourth step, which you already put that app inside your setting, because you already created a new app, right? So you have to make sure you have to make sure to put that app inside your setting, inside your installed app setting, like the default setting of your Django project. After you did that, what the other things you have to do? You have to simply define. You have to go and open up your like HTML CSS templates, front end templates, base.html CSS. Why base? Because here I create a template called base.html, and this base is just working on header and footer, nothing else. So because as we know, my drop down menu, which is related to currency converter, exists inside the header, so I have to go inside my base.html, because base.html is only for header and footer. So whenever I go there, I have to find that drop down menu, which is currency. So I'm gonna go here, and then what you have to do, you have to define two more different functions, JS functions, inside that base template. So the first one is change currency function, and the second one is update prices function. And after you define these two functions, which I'm going to explain line by line what these codes do, then you have to use that change currency function inside the drop down menu, which is related to currency converter, for example euro, rupees, pound, dollar. So you are going to use that you're just going to use that JS function, and then use the value, which is the value of that money type, for example euro, EUR, and that's it. So you can put href to anything, or you can even load it by itself. But when I use JavaScript void 0, that means don't load, don't do nothing. So if I'm going to just go for like that, as you can see, it's not even loading, right? My page is not even loading, but the values, all of these values are changing correctly, right? As you can see. So uh, when you use this JavaScript void 0, that means don't load. The href is this, that means don't load, don't do nothing, stay in the same page and don't load. But still, it's just going to unclick on that menu, on that drop down menu, on that button, and click on that. This change currency function is just going to get called, and then it's just going to do different things to convert the price to the to that money type, like euro or rupees or whatever. So now I'm trying to explain like what these two important JS functions do. So the first one is change currency function, which we are going to put the currency argument inside, and then we're trying to fetch this URL pattern. What is this URL pattern? Currency slash convert. This is the URL pattern of the view which we already wrote inside our new app, which called currency converter. So if you're going to go to that currency converter here, we're going to see this view, right? But as I told you, you have to connect this view to the with your URLs. As you can see, it's this, right? So whenever when we create that JS function, we already call this view. But how? We use the URL pattern. That's how we call it. If we are going to go to the base again, we say currency convert, right? We're going to go to URLs, currency underline convert underline currency. Convert is the pass. But the question is that why we have currency at the beginning? And the answer is easy. It's easy to, and the question is easy to answer. Because we already use this app, and then we already connect the view to the certain URL pattern inside this app, and this app is inside the whole project. We have to make sure first to just include these URLs of this app inside our e-commerce file, which is the main file of our project, which all the settings and everything exists inside that. So if you're going to go e-commerce urls.py, we are going to see different, all of the apps are connected to that, all of the URLs of each apps are connected to this main urls.py. And what is this main urls.py? This is the main urls.py, which is for the main file of your Django project, and all of the settings, everything exists inside this file. And it depends what project you create, the name is just going to get changed, because my project called e-commerce, so the name of the main file is e-commerce. So you have to make sure first to already include all the URLs of the new app which you already create inside this main urls.py file. So we simply say here, currency slash include currency underline converter, which is the name of the app, dot URL. So we already link this file with the urls.py file. Why? Because you have to link all the URLs of all apps to this main app. That's what you have to do. And after we did that, I'm just going to speed up the explaining, because it's just going to we are going to spend a lot of time if you're going to stay like that. So I hope you understand very well. So that's why here we already fetch and send a request to this path, currency slash convert, because here in the e-commerce the first pattern is currency, and then is the rest which is inside the URLs of that app, which is convert. Okay, so that's why it's base, that's why it's currency slash convert. And then when we send the request and we fetch that path and we put the value which is currency, which is the argument which we are going to use it here, and after that we are going to get the response, and then we return the response, and return the response with a type of JSON, and then we try to we put that JSON response inside the data, and we try to figure it out if there was no error inside that data, because we have this. So that means if there was no error inside that data, try to use update prices JS function and then update all the prices, else try to console.error this error. Okay, so and we now I have to explain about the second JS file, which we are going to use it in this change currency file. We simply have two arguments here. We define this function, we have two arguments here, we create the variable. The variable is a dictionary with the key and value here, USD with their symbol, euro with their symbol, and so on, and then we have the symbol variable, and then we try to simply use this dictionary to figure it out. For example, if the money was euro, so the symbol need to be like this, right? And then we simply use document.query selector, because we want to select all the product prices inside our shop, and then for each of them try to change the price from the database price to the price. We try to calculate the price from the base price to the price which user select, to the money type which user select. So I'm going to explain you more here, because we have a database price here. First we create this variable, we put the parse float here, because as default this database price is a string, so we put it like float with the type of float. We get that attribute. Where is it? This one is existing in the shop page. All the prices has the base price, and the base price is dollar. As you can see, if I'm going to load this, the base price is dollar. The base price is dollar. So we simply try to get that base price, which is dollar something based on that product, and then we try to calculate that base price based on the currency type which user select. So we say, okay, when you get that base price, try to multiply that base price with the rate. And what is that rate? Rate is inside our view. So if I'm going to go inside my view, we have here, we simply have rate. And how we get this rate? We get this rate by sending request to this API with the base currency. We get all the lifetime price of each currency. So like simply, if I'm going to say what this function do, it's just update the prices. As we can see in the name, it just has a dictionary, and then we are going to get the base price. We are going to multiply that base price with the rate, and this is the rate which is dynamic based on the currency type which user select. For example, euro has the rate of, for example, 2. That means you have to multiply this money to multiply this $80 to 2, so it's going to be 160 euros, something like that. So we get that rate. How we get this rate? We get this rate by this view, and this view, how this view get this rate? Simply by sending request to exchange rate API, because by sending request to this API we're going to get the real time lifetime real-time rate of each currency. So we're going to understand right now how much is $80 to euro, something like that. So symbol, base price, rate, and we have to fix two, which is going to fix it to 2 decimal places, not more, not less. And that's everything. So and then at the end we're going to use that JS function, and these JS functions are connected to this URL, and this URL is connected to this view, and this view is connected to this API. It's like everything is connected to each other. And at the end, we are going to see it's working properly. If I'm going to just select currency to euro, we're going to see all the prices get changed to euro with the right symbol, with the right prices. And each of them has a 2 decimal places only, because we already mentioned that to use 2 decimal places here. And then or go for rupees, we have this with 2 decimal places, not more not less. Pound, same. That's it. Maybe it's a little bit complicated, or maybe I couldn't like explain everything like so understandable, something like that. So I don't know I'm using right English word or not, but anyway, I hope you guys understand a little bit how this small function, how this small feature work in Django. So in conclusion, like I'm just going to finish everything by saying what we did so far. We create app, we define view, we connect, we link that view with our URL pass here, and then we simply put that app inside our setting, install app setting. We we define the change currency and update prices JS functions inside our base HTML template, and then we already call those functions JS function in our drop down menu. And what else we did? We already okay, and we already used the database price, and we put it to dollar, which is the default version of our product, so we can convert that USD dollar to any money type any currency type which we want. And at the end we run the project, and that's it. As you can see, it's working correctly. That's it. I hope you guys like this tutorial like before. Don't forget to subscribe my channel, like this video, and if you have any question, comment me below. That's it. Have a good day.